What is up, everybody? We are Cinema 3D, and today we're going to be giving our review of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Alright, so we just saw Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Justin, this is your second Indiana Jones film that you've seen. John, I believe this was the fifth Indiana Jones film that you've seen.
Yeah,
and
he's a newbie.
Yeah, for me as well, but it's been a minute since I rewatched all those movies. Love Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think it's probably one of the best adventure films of the 1980s.
I would agree.
Could be the best adventure film of the 1980s, up for debate.
Peak Spielberg too.
Peak Spielberg, absolutely.
Man, feels good.
I mean, yeah, no, it's just classic filmmaking. So we have a history of loving Raiders, and the series as a whole, I haven't seen that much, but I know I loved the original trilogy. Seen it about 2 times, but it's been a while, so I'm definitely going to want to rewatch that. But for some people, even more than us, this trilogy or this series is what Star Wars is to us, and what Batman is to us. I mean, we love these movies, but there are people who Indiana Jones is what they grew up on. It's just a part of their history. So there was a lot riding on this movie for those fans to really get a good experience. And I know Crystal Skull did leave a little bit of a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, but so just going right into this movie, I was excited going into it. Anyone want to start sharing their thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't really grow up with the Indiana Jones movies, but my dad did, and he wanted me to watch this because he watched the films because he knows I was a big Spielberg fan. Jurassic Park, E.T., the works. And he's like, "Hey, you gotta try. You gotta check out the Indiana Jones movies." And I knew what they were from pop culture, and when you can't really escape it. So I decided to give the trilogy a watch. Fell in love with it. Almost instantly. Just everything about it. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones is iconic. Spielberg's direction, the action, the romance, the cinematography, the music. John Williams' music is awesome, and it feels good. They really feel good. It's like that, like you pop them in, you pop even just Raiders in, and you're just in for a 2-hour theme park ride, but a good one. And it just feels good. It feels like a long forgotten time. Yes. But the way to bring it back is by experiencing them. So I was able to. Then I watched Crystal Skull. I haven't watched it in a while, but I do remember feeling like, oh, something's off, even though it was directed by Spielberg again and whatnot. There is obviously some great things about it. Harrison Ford is always great. Spielberg's direction is superb still. But the story was a little bit, this and that. And I know there's also, Shia LaBeouf's character that's been very much critiqued as well. But after watching this film, the new one, I'm definitely eager to watch the first 3, and I'm also eager to check out Crystal Skull again. So that's a benefit.
I made sure when I bought my Indiana Jones collection, some of them are only the trilogy.
Nice.
I made sure it was one that had Crystal Skull.
Very nice. A completionist. Love it.
So going into this film.
Yeah, I mean, when they announced that they were going to do another Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones 5, I'm like, all right, let's hope that, it's not just nostalgia bait, and because that's all the craze now. And if done well, it can be awesome. But, it just reeks of just cheap thrills and just trying to get butts in seats, especially people who have nostalgia for it. So I had worries with that. Harrison Ford is obviously, let's make no mistake, the dude ages like fine wine, and he could literally do anything. He survived a plane crash. He walked out of a plane crash, and he's almost 90. It's incredible. But he's still getting up there in age. So and you saw that in Crystal Skull. But so I had worries because it's been a long time. 2008 was Crystal Skull. And then I heard that James Mangold was directing it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's an interesting choice, but I'm all for it. Then we saw set photos. I'm like, okay, this is good. You see the first trailer. I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. Then we got conflicting reports that, you know, it just wasn't going, it's not doing well, the story was lackluster, or the audience reactions have not been great for first reactions. And I'm like, oh man. And then it's now projected to apparently not make as much as it should as well. So that was like, oh man. So walking into it, I'm like, oh, please be better than Crystal Skull, or hell, just impress me, be better than the other ones. I don't think you can do that, but why not? Shoot for the fences. So I had my expectations kind of lowered because we've had some films this year that just didn't really hit it for me. I think we can all agree on that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Unfortunately. Yeah. But as soon as the film started, it felt good. Felt good. I think this film is definitely better. This film's definitely better than Crystal Skull.
Yes.
From what I remember, it's definitely better. It feels like true Indiana Jones, like classic. There are some choices that they make that are a little okay. In concept, it's pretty good, but in execution, all right. Some stuff that they do with Indiana now is pretty, just being a curmudgeon old man. It's pretty much Harrison Ford, but at least there's
the same thing with Han Solo.
Yeah, but at least there's a remnants of Indiana still, and he's, you know, trying to still teach history and whatnot. But he's getting up there, and, you know, times have changed. He's almost a relic. Now that it's the 1960s.
Yeah, like late 60s.
Yeah, so
69 is when I think took place.
Right.
Moon landing.
Mm-hmm. But overall, I definitely, I was ready to go on another Indiana Jones adventure, regardless of age. And yeah, I mean, as soon as it started going and started picking up, I was sold. I was invested. I was really into it. Can we all agree that the opening is the best part of the movie, though?
I'm not gonna let you guys know anything until.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I get to my part.
I do think the opening is the best thing about it because of it feels like the classic trilogy, like literally.
Right off the bat with the text and the opening, I was just like, when I saw the font they chose to use and reminiscent of Raiders, I was just like, I was into it.
Yeah, I was. I thought the opening was great. It felt like classic Indiana Jones. It just felt good. I was like, man, the first 15-20 minutes, I'm like, all right, you really hit the ground running.
They did that scene well, and it wasn't a quick little.
No, it was. That's right. It was a scene. It was a really good sequence. And some of the effects, like the de-aging, in some shots it looks great, and some it doesn't. It's a little hit and miss. Obviously, you know, they wanted to keep Harrison Ford, but you can tell that his voice doesn't match him being younger. And the way he looks, it looks like young young Harrison Ford. Like it's literally from Raiders, Temple of Doom and Last Crusade era.
With a voice like this.
With the voice of an 80 plus year old man, but he tried his best. I think they did some audio, mixing and whatnot, try. But that, I mean, it looks, the uncanny valley is a little, all right, but I wasn't gonna let that get to me because it was a great homage to classic indie. But yeah, I thought the story was classic. I thought the way to get Indiana Jones back into it felt good.
Yes.
It felt right. And I thought all the actors did a great job with what they were given. I think the villains were pretty good. Felt like classic Indiana Jones villains. I think Mads Mikkelsen is great in anything he's in. So, and what he was given, I think he crushed it as a villain. you have this new character who is supposed to be the goddaughter of Indiana Jones. What's her name actually?
Helena? Or the character?
The actual actor's name.
Phoebe-Waller Bridge.
Phoebe-Waller Bridge. If you don't remember, I believe she played the droid in Solo, the female droid.
Yep.
Yeah, she played that. So I think this is a difficult one. We might get some slack for this. I don't know, but she wasn't as annoying as I thought I would feel, as I thought I would when I saw reports and other reviews saying how annoying she is, and he's another Sally Sue. While there are elements of that for sure, she wasn't as bad as people are making out to be. Now, however, though, it's probably because whenever they bring up like, oh, I studied all these books when I was 7 years old and this and that, they said it and then they moved on. It was quick. If they lingered on it and they really showed her even continuing to be worse, then I would have hated this character. I don't hate her. I don't love her. I don't even like her. I just honestly she plays off with Ford well enough. But yeah, I'm not, she didn't annoy me, but she was also like not pointless, but you know what I mean? Like it's a difficult thing because we're seeing that trend in Hollywood now where you have female characters and the way to make them respectable or badass or this and that, they just shoehorn it in way too much. Another reason why I'm bringing this up is because when we watched the trailers, what's the new Marvel movie coming out?
Marvels.
Yeah.
Marvels?
Yep, the Marvels.
Man, it just, after everything that we know about current Marvel and everything, it just that's not how you write badass female characters. If you want to write some badass female characters, then look at Ripley from Aliens and Aliens, or Sarah Connor from the Terminator films. Like that's how you write a female character, man. And it just kind of, I don't know. I feel like this is a venting session for a moment, but she had those qualities that annoyed me, but at least it was done. It was there and it was done. She was annoying though, but I think it helped that Harrison Ford or Indy was older, so you had the curmudgeon old man and then the young boastful, very Crystal Skull. I don't know if this was handled better than Crystal Skull. I have to watch that one again.
I would as well, yeah.
Yeah. But I thought she did fine. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. I really thought it was good. It was honestly like it's one of the first films of this year that I'm just like watching and I'm like, I'm walking out.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Absolutely.
And like, I was talking to you when we were walking out of the theater and just hearing the Indiana Jones theme, I'm like, that feels good to walk out and hear that.
Yeah.
It feels good. Yeah, I mean, I would say that it definitely, well, we'll get into that as far as ranking. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much to say. I think what I said is what's needed to be said. I think, I recommend it. It's not, I mean, I have to watch more reviews because I'm listening to these and the way people are saying, are talking about the film, that it's like some of them are saying it's utter dog shit, like literally dog shit. I'm like, I have seen worse this year, man. Like this is not bad at all. I think it's a good Indiana Jones movie.
Absolutely.
I think it's one of the best of this year, in my opinion. Obviously we have to wait for other bangers coming
Everything
out.
else.
Everything else, exactly. But
Other hits to drop. Yeah.
it'll definitely be in my top though, because it was good. I enjoyed myself, and that is what you do when you go see a movie.
Yes.
I enjoy myself.
Absolutely.
So
Some nice escapism.
boom.
Yeah.
That couldn't have said it better myself. It was finally a movie that had what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Escapism.
Yeah.
That's why I go to the movies. That's why I love watching movies. It's for escapism, to get away from all this bull crap of the world. And for 2 hours plus, just was in that world.
Mm-hmm.
You got me.
Going on an adventure.
Going on an adventure.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. And send off to Mr. Ford, man. Harrison Ford. This felt good, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Going on, I think we'll save Justin's for last again, because we just again have no idea what he's thinking.
We never do.
I love
It's
this.
a conundrum when we walk
never do.
out of a theater, man.
I love
Well,
that
look,
you guys
we
never
just-
know.
There's no tell either.
No,
Like,
because even when I'm smiling, I could hate it, or if I'm just like stoic, I could love the movie.
Yeah.
You never know.
I just saw a calculator. Like, I don't know what this dude is
Oh,
doing.
I was
just
seeing
now.
how he's.
You know,
I don't even get what he's doing. He's like doing
I was
some
seeing how long Harrison has been Indiana Jones, and it's been like 42 years since Raiders.
81,
So
Yeah.
that
42.
could be one of the longest like actors to play a character.
You can tell he loves this character.
He really
too,
does love
man.
this
He
character
loves
more than Han Solo.
Yeah, way more than Han Solo, unfortunately. But that's another thing. You know how we had the sequel trilogy, the much debated sequel trilogy.
We need to eventually talk about.
Yeah, 100%. But why is it that they handled Indiana Jones far better than Han Solo?
I'm gonna delve into that one because
Thank
it's
That's another thing. Like, I got redemption.
Oh yeah.
I'll say, anyways. I just need to say that. I need to put
No, I agree 100%. But yeah, this guy's poker face. I remember when we walked out of Ready Player One, I thought he was like loving it with us, and then we walked out, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't really like it."
You borderline said it was
brought
dog
something
shit.
out from the grave, dude.
I know, well, because we had to, because Ready Player One is actually great.
It
You gotta
is.
watch
I
it.
feel like I would like it on a rewatch.
Yeah,
And
now
then
that you
I-
get the references.
Like Mission Impossible Fallout. When we walked out, it was like couldn't even tell he liked it. And then we walked out. He's like, "Yeah, it was probably one of my favorite movies I've ever seen."
I know.
Just
I know. He's like
stoic.
he's like this table, just flat and just stoic. You know, gets the job done.
And then I just go to the Anchorman line when he like finally gives his review, and it's like, well, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Oh man,
Nice reference.
I like to keep you guys in the guessing arena.
It is, yeah.
That's the feature I bring to the table.
Again,
When I don't
Alright.
talk much.
the wild card.
If we keep saying this, his forehead's gonna get bigger. So let's move on. Shall we?
I'm wearing the hat.
Like,
so.
yes.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here staring at all 5 posters for the past 10 minutes.
Oh,
All
nice.
5 great posters,
That's pretty cool.
especially the first 3.
Oh yeah, I mean, classic. First one with the
Oh, yeah.
whip. I didn't look as badass as Harrison Ford.
What do you mean? The guys, you know, if anybody want to do a make
right
the poster.
So with this movie, I loved it. I had an amazing time from start to
Right.
finish. Right off the bat, that first scene, I was in it. I was almost like, can this be the movie? Because like that adventure we were going on, it just felt so great. Also, weird thing to see in the beginning. Walt Disney Pictures, Paramount,
Yeah, no,
Lucasfilm.
I know,
I was not expecting to see the castle, the mountain, and the Lucas.
I know. That is weird to see. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was interesting. So right off the bat, loved it. Love that they chose the 60s as the time period. You got the Crystal Skull in the 50s. I don't know the year that Raiders takes place. I know it's the late 30s or early 40s. I have to rewatch it and find out. I know Temple of Doom's the 30s, and then I assume Last Crusade is 40. So
Yeah.
we're following this guy through the decades, and it's great. And I'm really excited to do a watch through. But no, just the whole movie just felt good. my only really complaint of scenes, and I'll just get them out of the way right now, was the initial chase scene when they're coming after him.
Yeah.
And he is when they're in the parade.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was like something wrong with the audio of the film, because I could not understand a word they were saying. It just felt awkward.
Yeah.
When he was on the horse and you were kind of expecting some like triumphant music, but like just quiet.
It was chaotic.
Yeah, it was chaotic.
All right, so
I think that's why you couldn't understand, because there was a lot of stuff.
I'm glad you said that though, because there were some things when they were. It's probably the times that we're in now where you gotta like, it's like especially exposition or anything like that. They're going so quick.
Yep.
And you could barely hear.
As I say,
you could barely hear. But like the original films, it took their time with. It's probably the attention span, but like I'm like. So what's this dial? Like what's going through? Like I got it eventually, but like, you know, you want to really get that exposition a lot. And it's like, you know, if they want to do like the Mission Impossible Fallout thing where you're like, you could barely hear, so you're trying to really pay attention. I'm all for that. But there were some times where I'm like,
no, what are they talking about? Yeah.
It was so quick too.
And that's the benefit of slowing down your film, like we talked about when we came out of the theater with Raiders, is you have that entire scene dedicated so we understand what the mission is.
Great scene.
And I did get what the mission was and what our artifact was. And I'm glad that they took the time to actually explain it, because I mean, a lot of movies today would just bypass that. And would like, I don't know, they'd be on a screen or something. Yeah. And then it would just be like, this is it. Then like,
a quick montage and stuff.
Quick. Yeah. You're talking to a character in a video game. Let me give you here you go. And then you go off and do your mission.
Right.
But when you have those small pieces of dialogue, it absorbs you into that world a little bit better, because they need to understand it. You need to understand it. And slower you do that, the more real it feels.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad they at least did that scene. Could have been a little bit better, in my opinion. And then that whole initial chase could have been better. But once they left the school and once they left that world, it just felt like Indiana Jones again.
Yeah.
When they started going on the adventures, pretty much right after he said, "Give them hell, Indiana Jones."
Yes.
That kind of launched the film again. Back into the adventure. And so now in retrospect, looking back at that scene, I was getting worried.
I was too. I think the first act had me worried.
Yes.
It had me a little worried. I was like, okay, there's some things in there. Obviously the opening's amazing, but other than that, I was like, all right, curmudgeon indie. I don't mind it, but I'm like, all right, what's going on here? This and that. Yeah, the first chase was like, okay, what now? All right, fine. Some of the special effects were a little dodgy, so I'm like, oh man, what are we doing here? But yeah, once after Indy meets Sala and does his give him hell, Indiana Jones, the callback. After that, I'm like, all right, now we're in it.
Yeah,
now we're in.
We were in it. Only other thing. The ending, I'm just going to get right to that just because I want to get any negatives out. The entire ending was a stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Of going back in time.
This one, that ending felt like Crystal Skull.
Yes, it definitely did.
Some interesting ideas, however, far-fetched and a little bit like, what? But at the same time, the other film, all the films, they have this fantastical element.
They do,
for sure. But this one was little. I mean, I don't know. Because Glass Crusade goes in. Well, I don't know.
I can find one nice, redeemable quality of it, though.
Yes,
is the fact that he has been a man living in the past for so long. And then he's finally there and he found it. And so with it being his last film, I can give it a pass for that level of fantasy because of the fact that it's very just like he feels like he's found what he needed and he felt like he wanted to die there.
He loves history so much. And now he's seeing all this, Roman battle and stuff like that, and he's like, while he's bleeding and and dying, he's like, look get this. This is amazing. While Helena's like, are you kidding me? You are dying. And so I love that he's, he wants to die there, and it's just being him. But Helena's like, I got other plans, and just knocks him out.
Yeah. I'm so glad.
Which is funny too. That is a funny thing, because it's like I could see Indiana like now the curmudgeon old man. He's like, I'm done.
Yep.
Let me just die in history.
Yeah.
That type of thing. It is funny, but I'm glad they didn't do that though.
I thought that was it, because I don't know if I said it to you guys or somebody, but I went into this movie saying, all right, I'm going to go watch Indiana Jones die.
I know.
Because
I felt that too, man. I felt that too.
It's a character we're bringing back from childhood, so naturally we got to kill him.
Yeah. For some reason.
And what a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
To not have to do that.
I think that's what the ending is paramount.
It was.
And I think
made by Paramount.
Yeah. Very nice. Wow. That wasn't even intentional. But it is though.
Yeah.
And the ending, like, finally we have a character that is actually going to live the rest of his life happy.
These stories are meant to be romanticized, and they're meant to be exaggerated, and they're meant to have a feel-good ending. And so now let's lead that into Force Awakens. I'm all for Han Solo dying, because Harrison wanted it.
Sure.
And it's a great
yeah, he definitely wanted it.
He wanted it.
Sure.
Like, I think he wanted it a little too early. But I love that scene in Force Awakens, actually. His death scene's fine. What I don't love, and this movie was doing the same thing, was actually not really the same thing. I take that back, but because obviously Han Solo goes through this incredible character arc and then just reverts back to what he was, like absolutely nothing happened.
One of the downfalls of the sequel trilogy for sure.
And then just no happy ending, and then they try to redeem it in Rise of Skywalker, and then it turns out, oh, you're just a vision. So it's like, or a memory. So it's like, that's a great childhood character that, again, fine with him dying. It doesn't always have to be all happy-go-lucky.
No, yeah.
But with this movie, I felt for Harrison. Like I was feeling that for Han, but I didn't get a nice payoff. It didn't get a nice delivery and respect to the character that this story is built around. This movie, I felt for him when he was going through it early on. It was actually a pretty sad scene when he's trying to teach the class and nobody's engaging. And I just I can almost relate to that when I'm like getting excited talking about like film with people or anything like that. And they just are like, I mean, it really felt like almost a modern type audience. And it's literally just gonna be us when we're 80 years old talking movies, and we got kids or grandkids or nephews. They're all young, and they're gonna be on their hologram Nintendo. Their hologram Nintendo.
Man, that sounds old. That sounds like
they're gonna be on their digitalized Mario game.
Digitalized Mario game. Awesome.
And so, yeah, I love what they did with this character in this movie, because he lost his son, he lost his love, and then he's just, all he has left is his passion for what he does. And that's all he had.
Yeah.
And so to see him going back just to clear his name and just to kind of live out his life, essentially, and to see delivery from that was so nice, and that it can be escaped, and he still does have a life to live, and he doesn't have to live in the past, and he can have this relationship still. And and what did she say? Like, Indy, I heard you came back, because he was gone.
That's a great one.
It was
a great
really
line.
good, man.
Great line.
Same thing happened to him. Literally same thing happened to him.
Yeah.
Han left because of his son. They did the exact same thing. Kind of weird, actually.
They did. It is a little weird. Yeah.
But this maybe intentional. I don't know. Just to give it that feeling of delivery, but it definitely did that. And so, I mean, beyond just that, I loved all the characters in this film. Great villain. I thought it was going to be a Rey Han situation with her. I didn't mind her at all. I mean, really not at all.
She annoyed me on some occasions, but okay.
Yeah, no, I liked small little tidbit of the character arc of the, after the money, not after.
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
It's been done, but
it has, yeah.
I don't mind cliches always because
If it works well, it works well.
and in the era we're living in where we're trying so hard not to do that, some things are just good character tropes.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're
Especially when you're harking back to a time.
Yes.
Still have that there.
That this is doing.
That's why I feel like this is not going to be as successful, because it's tapping into that fan base.
100%.
So it's not going to be as accessible to people. No one's going to want to watch a 80-year-old man trying to look, in a fedora, cracking a whip. But I will. But yeah, exactly. It's a great movie, Air Force One.
But no, I agree.
Yeah.
I think this movie's not doing well. And from what I've heard from people, like some people I've talked to about it, they've said like they heard it was terrible and it sucked. I really think I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I
you know what I mean?
Believe you. I don't. I'm agreeing with you, man. For some reason, I'm like, damn, you guys, you call this bad?
Because some of the movies I'm hearing are good, and then I watch them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's like, this whole year has been weird.
It's been weird.
I don't want to. I mean, we're only like the midway through the year. We gotta wait, because we're gonna definitely do a recap on the entire year. But so far, weird year.
Weird year. We had some good ones earlier. This year,
which rightfully so. They were rated good. They were good.
Guardian, Spider-Man, both great films.
Right.
John Wick 4.
Oh yeah,
didn't see it.
I know.
But no, this one is definitely going to be high up on my list for this year. I think it has rewatchability. Great adventure film. I could definitely, especially if I'm showing somebody this movie, I could sit down and watch again. I could probably go to the theaters and see it again.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest, because I think it has that theater quality.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you guys grabbed popcorn and stuff. Like, I didn't grab popcorn, but I was living vicariously through you guys with the popcorn, because I'm like,
I had to get up and get that popcorn.
That's good. I'm sure it made it feel even better.
Yeah, it did.
That was a good move.
And so, yeah, I'm excited to give our rating later. But all in all, this was good. This was really good. And now for the
ladies and gentlemen,
the no idea in hell, man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
what you're thinking.
Tune in. Turn your volume up. Turn the lights down. Get your glow sticks ready for some reason.
Butter your popcorn.
Grab a
pop. Be like one of those waving sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting a Justin review.
Here we go.
Action. To be frank, I don't know what I think about the movie. No, I know exactly.
Gosh,
I know exactly what I think about this movie. So, I have only seen Raiders, like you said. So it's kind of interesting seeing the first one, and I've seen the last one. Yeah, I do need to and want to watch the other three, completionist's sake, but also because I think I might have a chance to enjoy them based off what I've heard about them. Don't really remember much about Raiders, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, I feel like it might be good.
Oh yeah, that was a while.
I'm not trying to compare it.
I do remember you being blown away by how much Ford did as far as stunts too. That's the thing. You were like, holy crap, they did this for real?
I remember having a great time and saying that it was a great movie. And I loved Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, and I loved the side character of what's his name? Sala?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sala. He was great. But anyway, Dial of Destiny. I really enjoyed this movie.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Really enjoyed this movie.
You hear that? Whole world went silent in shock.
What's weird, besides the first scene, which was a really long scene, it was, I would guessing, probably solid 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was good, because like you guys said, I think that could be one of the best parts of the movie. In the very, very beginning, I was a little bit sidetracked by the de-aging, but I quickly was able to just focus on his voice and forget about It was just because it was dark. I think when the daytime DH scene was a lot better. But anyway, that opening sequence drew me into the movie. I love Mads Mikkelsen, so I totally didn't even know he was in this movie.
Oh, nice.
I haven't seen the trailer besides when we went to see The Flash. So
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I didn't really want to see the movie because I hadn't seen the other ones, but then, you know, we ended up doing it and I think it was fine. But I think he did a great job. I think him and Ford both stand out in this movie.
Yes.
I would agree.
Like you said, I don't think Mads Mikkelsen can do wrong.
No.
It was very reminiscent of a James Bond movie he was in. I can't remember the specific name. Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Like same vibe, except this one he was more comedic, which I enjoyed to see that. I was actually kind of chuckling a lot more than I thought, which was good. Yeah. And it was mainly Ford being old.
Yes, yeah. Because we know how he is and it's freaking awesome.
But it was just funny. And even like when Salah said the ice cream joke and even some of the stuff with the villain, Mads Mikkelsen, just, I don't know, random little quips he did. I was just like, And then seeing Antonio Banderas, most random freaking person in this movie.
Crazy.
That's literally me.
Yep.
Sam's Harrison Ford. I mean, Indiana. And you're Salah.
I'm Salah, though. Oh my God.
But anyway, I had a good time. I thought that Act 2 was the weakest point.
Really?
But it was still good. That's where that's not that I was ever like worried that it was going to be bad, but that's where I was like, how is this going to end? Because it was the longest one out of all of them, and significantly longer than Raiders. I think it was at least 40 minutes longer. So having that, it did feel a little long to me, but I think it was because of the end sequence with, you know, going into the past. I didn't actually think they were going to do that. I thought it was going to end. Like they were going to stop him right before he like did it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't, because that's just so cliche. And I really did want to see what would happen with the dial.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was kind of freaking out. Like, is this too much? I've only seen Raiders.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember if that was like, I feel like that was grounded for some reason.
Okay. Now you got to watch all the other films, and now you definitely have to watch Crystal Skull as well. Now you have to. I'm very curious to see I have to know what he thinks about that now, because of what he said. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna give it a 1.
Not that it was bad.
No. That's the thing, though. There's some common people that actually find the film, you know, good or whatever. They compared this to Crystal Skull a little bit as well, and you know, I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
But yeah, I think I was glad they did that route once the movie ended. And I think the very end of the film, even though I didn't know who she was when she showed up, I kind of put 2 and 2 together. I actually kind of teared up when they actually succeeded at giving you a happy ending.
I was getting choked up for sure.
And like, I've only seen 2 of them. I've only seen the original. So like, if you can do that with just the original straight to the final, that kind of says something.
It's great.
It's not like I've only seen 2, and it's not even a full trilogy or 5 movies. It's crazy. But I thought that was handled well. My throat's just weak. There were some parts with the female character that were a little bit iffy, but overall I think she was fine. If they had changed some things with her, like in certain sequences, I think the way you described it, where it was like, if they just did one more thing, I probably would have been annoyed. But like, it always stopped right before it got to that point.
Thank God.
So I appreciate that. I think all the characters were good. The story was good. It was believable yet enjoyable and fantastical at the same time.
Yeah.
Opening and ending being the very, very end, and the opening being that full sequence. I think those are 2 best parts. There was a lot of stuff that happened in this movie, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to honestly remember everything, and there was a ton of action that I will say was a little bit hard to follow sometimes. But I think that's just kind of what this movie is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's meant to have those action sequences that are crazy,
Yep.
and then you go back to, like, a somber scene, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like all these ups and downs, so you're like, it's like a ride.
Yeah.
But that's what kind of makes me want to watch the other ones, because I remember Raiders kind of feeling that way too a little bit. So
Yeah. A little. I think better action.
Oh yeah, 'cause everything is done practically, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Way more cohesive scenes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I had a really good time. If there's anything else I can think of, yeah, I think right now I think it's sitting at the middle just because of some of the movies I've seen, but I've only seen a few this year.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the year, I could see it being towards the top. So
Yeah,
I think right now it's sitting at
3.
I think 3 or 2. Yeah.
nice. Wow,
Probably 3.
3. Yeah.
that's good.
I think mine's at 3.
Yeah. But now the real question comes down to our Cinema 3D official rating for each of us officially. Now this one,
Who goes first?
I'm actually struggling with it. Does anyone have theirs
I do.
really solid?
Yep.
I think
What
I have
is
mine.
what do you give it on our Cinema 3D scale?
Okay, so like I said, I enjoyed my time in the theater. That's what you go to theater to do.
Yep.
I thought the story was good. I thought the action for the most part felt like classic Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford as Indy is great. As his last film, his send-off, I thought it was handled very well.
Mm-hmm.
All the actors did a good job to great job. All the callbacks were great. It was definitely funny too. I think it was an enjoyable time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand the hate. I
Yeah.
don't understand the hate, but then I kind of do with what we talked about. But that's on everybody else to decide. But I don't want anybody to write it off. Like, watch it for
Yeah.
sure. Enjoy the time. So my official ranking is good flick.
Nice. An official good flick rating for once.
That's right, an official good flick.
I
Again,
think he
if we
did
had
give
done it.
He did give one already.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
You did for Transformers as well. Yeah,
I did.
Okay.
We just got stuck in the rut of not a fan both times.
yes, yeah, that's true. But yeah,
Solid.
Indiana
was
Jones and the Dial of Destiny, good flick.
very nice.
To me next.
Or me. I don't know.
Shoot.
What are you feeling? Yeah, we can do rock paper scissors. Okay, you.
So me. All right.
I don't think we actually established the rules, but yeah,
I know. I don't know how many times you went.
Okay, we can do it again.
No, it's fine. I'll go.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm excited because I get to pick out of 5 different categories.
5 different categories. What are they?
They are at the bottom. Never again.
Yes.
Not a fan. Good flick. In my collection. And movie magic,
Movie magic.
which will most likely never be said.
Sacred.
But who knows? Unless we do something about old movies.
Yes.
Okay, so one thing I didn't mention earlier was I thought the music was great. I think they used it at the right points.
Yeah, they
It was a
did.
huge plus for me.
You didn't hear the Force theme over and over.
I was so.
Over again.
That was really again just so much stuff was fresh air. They like learned from the mistakes of all the rehashing that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this being what people are calling a legacy sequel.
Mm-hmm. Is that what they're calling these?
Yeah, which I think is a good
Okay.
name for it. But
Proper.
I think it's off the top of my head, top 3 that we've gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Only one I could think that immediately better is Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, man.
Did you guys both see Maverick?
Individually.
I haven't seen it.
Bro, that
Yeah.
movie is so good.
Especially
I've heard
since we
nothing but good.
especially since we finally watched the first Top Gun with each other, and we enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Maverick, that's a sequel, man. That is
Yeah.
what a sequel
It
does.
is. It's so good that I personally think that it is better than the first one, but it's just like,
Man.
like boom, like they're right there.
Mhm.
Like
Figure
they're almost on the same level for me. But
I can't wait for you to watch that.
Yeah, no,
Watch that and then let us know, because
it's been on the radar for sure.
but saying that, and this being up there with Maverick,
Mhm.
because I've only seen Raiders.
Yeah.
So that's very similar to Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I would definitely say a solid good flick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
very nice.
So
Very nice. This is
the
a
first
good guy.
one I've given.
This is
thank
good,
God.
guys.
I'm struggling between In My Collection and Good Flick. At the end of the day, is it going in my collection?
Yes.
Yes. That's not, but that's again, just to re-clear that up. In my collection would mean in my whatever, I guess, pantheon of film. In my like, this is what I enjoy.
Yeah. Because I could buy Not a Fan
You can buy a Not a Fan.
just because,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and of course I'm going to buy Movie Magic, but it's just the ranking.
It's what's your island films, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
like what that really is. Maybe rename that one eventually. I don't know. It's a little confusing, but
In my mind all the time.
in my mind all the time. So right now, I'm giving it a good flick. Pending more viewings.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because it could change once I see it again. I'm really struggling between if I liked this more or if I liked Guardians 3 more for just this year as a whole. And I gave Guardians 3 in my collection. So it's like, it's really going to depend on more viewings that happen.
That's good though. I mean, we all unanimously say it's a good time. It's a good flick, and everybody should go see it.
Everyone should go see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't just let this random bad word of mouth
I know.
take you from seeing this movie. Watch it for what it is and enjoy it. And yeah, no, I do agree. It's, for me, probably the best legacy sequel I've seen because respects the source material, and we didn't get a lot of that before. So for that, I just like have to mega applaud this film. And just great to walk out of one of these movies actually feeling good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the overall consensus from all three of us, right? Like that's the big
easy.
Walked
takeaway.
out with a genuine smile on my face.
Yeah.
Haven't had that in a while.
No. Fun time at the theater,
Especially the last two.
especially in the last two. But yeah, that's pretty much all of our time here discussing Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Please go see this movie. Show support to Harrison Ford. We love Harrison, and we will. Yes, we do, and we will see you guys next time. Now get off my plane.
That's not how the Force works.